Some games are all about hardship and adversity. They strip you down, leaving you vulnerable, challenging you to rise from weakness. There's a real satisfaction in conquering a difficult foe or overcoming a grueling obstacle. But other games, they're crafted to make you feel like an unstoppable force, a true badass. The thrill of power and dominance becomes the core, letting you unleash everything you've got.
Okay, I'm in the lobby of the Merlot.
In the WatchDogs series, the Blackout ability stands out as one of the franchise's most iconic and instantly recognizable powers. This hack lets you cut power across a wide radius, plunging everything around you into darkness. Whether you're using it to escape the police or deal with heavily armed guards, there's something thrilling about triggering an instant blackout, watching streetlights flicker off and electronics fail. It's essentially a chaos button that lets you feel like a true hacker, and fans loved it so much that it even appeared in the original game's first trailer. Although in Watch Dogs you had to go through the trouble of crafting the ability, the sequel made it more accessible. Oddly, it was left out in Legion, unless you're playing as Aiden in the Bloodlines DLC. But it remains an unforgettable feature that defines the spirit of the series.
Hey you, sir.
This is
Yeah, you, come here.
bullshit, man. You ain't got no probable cause.
We're just talking.
Hey, man, look, I got my tickets right here.
No, keep your head.
Remedy has a real knack for creating awesome powers in games, and Quantum Break is one of their standout achievements. Released in 2016, Quantum Break took time manipulation to the next level. Among the coolest abilities are Time Stop and Time Blast. With Time Stop, you create a bubble that completely freezes time around enemies. What's amazing is that you can stack bullets within the bubble. When time resumes, all the shots hit at once, delivering a devastating blow. It's both visually stunning and incredibly satisfying. Then there's Time Blast, a powerful explosion that shatters reality itself. It creates a shockwave effect that warps everything around it, making it one of the game's most visually striking moves. Each time you use these powers, you feel unstoppable, making Quantum Break an underrated gem with unforgettable abilities. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance brings Platinum's signature over-the-top action to new heights, and Blade Mode is a huge part of that. Originally a concept from the first version of Metal Gear Rising, Platinum wisely kept it, making it the game's defining feature. With Blade Mode, you get precise control over your sword, slicing enemies into pieces at the perfect moment. It acts as a finishing move when enemies are vulnerable, letting you tear apart foes that gave you trouble. Plus, it's more than just a flashy feature. Each slice lets you extract enemy electrolytes, boosting your health and energy. The game encourages you to use it, and it never gets old. While precise cutting can sometimes be tricky, Blade Mode remains one of the most satisfying and badass mechanics in the game. Prototype isn't about feeling like a hero. It's about unleashing your inner monster. The game is packed with incredible powers, allowing you to tear through enemies like a force of nature. But the standout ability has to be shapeshifting. Sure, diving off a skyscraper to elbow drop a tank is ridiculously fun, but shapeshifting adds a sinister, stealthy edge to the chaos. Absorbing enemies and taking their form isn't just visually cool. It lets you infiltrate, deceive, and create mayhem from the inside. You can even call in airstrikes or accuse soldiers of infection, turning your enemies against each other. It's the ultimate bad guy power, making you feel like an unstoppable menace. But the game keeps you on your toes too. You're powerful, but still vulnerable, so you have to stay sharp or risk being taken down. Prototype perfectly balances raw power with the thrill of danger.
Taking hit. Minimal damage, over.
Dishonored, too, amps up the series' supernatural assassin thrills with some truly badass powers, and Domino is the standout. It's simple, but incredibly satisfying. Link up to 4 enemies, and whatever fate one suffers, they all share. Knock one out, and they all drop simultaneously. Eliminate one, and they're all gone. Setting up a great domino isn't always easy, though. Enemies have to be close enough for the link to work, so it requires some planning, but when you pull it off, you feel like a total mastermind, clearing out entire rooms in seconds. Domino gets even better when paired with other powers, like Shadow Kill, which makes enemies vanish upon death. Emily's abilities are all unique, offering a strange and thrilling contrast to Corvo's more traditional powers, and in the hands of a careful player, they make her one of the most lethal assassins in gaming.
It's too late for that, Rapallo. Guess what happens next?
All of light from the time of the rat plague.
Move along. We're conducting.
Infamous Second Son takes superpowers to a whole new level, introducing some unique abilities beyond the elemental powers of earlier games. While smoke, neon, video, and concrete powers are all impressive, the standout has to be the orbital drop, a karma bomb tied to the smoke ability. To unleash it, you first charge your karma meter by choosing either good or evil action, like helping civilians or going on destructive sprees. Once activated, Orbital Drop lets you transform into smoke, soar high into the air, and then come crashing down in a massive, explosive impact. This move was a jaw-dropping next-gen showcase when it debuted on the PS4 and remains just as satisfying. You control Delsin as he rockets toward the delivering an epic superhero moment in real time. With the infamous series full of fantastic powers, Orbital Drop stands out as one of the coolest, making you feel like a true force of nature. In Vanquish, Platinum Games took the classic third-person shooter and dialed up the intensity, creating a fast-paced, over-the-top experience that doesn't slow down. Yet, they added a unique touch to make the main character, Sam Gideon, even more memorable: the ability to light a cigarette while taking cover. It's not a downtime game like the Saboteur, so Sam only has moments to light up amid intense firefights, with bullets flying around him. Surprisingly, it's not just for style. You can actually toss the cigarette to distract enemy robots. While it's not the most effective distraction, it's a fun detail that adds character. And in true Platinum style, Sam's smoking is limited to 3 times per stage. A little in-game moderation that's a clever touch. It's a small, stylish detail in a game filled with action, and it somehow makes Sam feel even more like a cool, unstoppable force. Bloodborne stands out among From Software games as one where you genuinely feel like a badass. Unlike their typical gritty gameplay where most abilities are more subtle, Bloodborne goes full force with its brutal style and fearsome weapon. One of the most hardcore examples, the Bloodletter. At first glance, it might not look too impressive, just an ominous, blunt mace. But when you transform it, things get intense. Your character literally stabs the weapon through their chest to unleash its second form, a brutal, blood-drenched, two-handed powerhouse. It's metal as hell. The transformation takes a chunk of your health, but the sacrifice is part of what makes it so badass. The Bloodletter's combination of raw power and visceral transformation makes it a weapon that perfectly matches Bloodborne's dark, intense aesthetic and brings out the feeling of playing as a relentless, stylish hunter in a nightmarish world. The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction truly lives up to the name with its weaponization mechanic, letting you harness Hulk's raw power in creative, destructive ways. Radical Entertainment, who later created Prototype, outdid themselves with this feature, which pushes Hulk smash to an impressive new level. The world feels like your playground as you tear through anything in sight, but it's the weaponization ability that takes it up a notch. Grabbing certain vehicles lets Hulk transform them into improvised weapons, rip a car into makeshift brass knuckles, flatten it into a shield, or tear off tank rocket pods to use against enemies. This adds both variety and strategy, letting you adapt to different combat situations. It's incredibly satisfying and brings a unique spin to Hulk's unstoppable strength. This feature is so badass that we'd love to see it make a comeback in future Hulk games. The Devil Trigger in Devil May Cry is iconic for a reason. Nothing says badass like transforming into a demon and unleashing pure chaos. Across the series, Devil Trigger is that one ability that gives Dante, or whoever you're playing as, an undeniable edge, amplifying power and unlocking new abilities for a short time. But in Devil May Cry 5, it's taken to a new level with stunning effects and animation that make activating Devil Trigger feel like a true power trip. It's not just satisfying for players, it's intense enough that when a boss goes Devil Trigger mode, like in DMC5's Final Showdown, you know you're in for a serious challenge. Devil Trigger has always defined the badassery of Devil May Cry. And even among all the wild moves in the series, it's a standout feature that's as memorable as it is epic. That wraps up our video for today. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. New videos drop daily. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching.